Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. Brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak. And if I don't see you for Eid, blessed Eid also.
Amen.
I'd like to thank the mosque cares, the leadership, and the supporters, the great supporters here, to help keep our connection together. I would like to start by saying that as Muslims, we have so much that Prophet Muhammad gave us. And we're talking about Prophet Muhammad as the leader for modern times. You should look at it this way. If you see people struggling for democracy, Prophet Muhammad is the leader. If you see a public school established, Prophet Muhammad is the leader. If they're talking about ethics and morality, Prophet Muhammad is the leader. Because if you go back before Prophet Muhammad, you will not see those things prominent. And what Muslims cannot do, and what we're doing, is we're letting them take something that we have, we perfect, and they're utilizing it, and we're, as the brother said, we put it in the dumpster. This community, more than any other community, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was successful first and foremost because of Allah, and he was successful because of the fraternity. The love of brotherhood and sisterhood. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
I came up in that. I long for that. That's why I'm here. And you got to long for coming together. I don't know what's going on. We don't like to come together. It's strange. But the other communities outside of us who don't profess Islam are using it to the hilt. And they're successful, even in terms of oppressing us. I was in Casablanca and with a cab driver, and he spoke a little English. I was with my wife and my father-in-law. We were driving, and he said, how do you find Islam here in Morocco? I said, it's good. I said, it's fine. He said, well, you know, I traveled to Europe and other places, and you know what? I said, what? He said, I see Islam in Europe and America, but I don't see Muslims. He said, in Casablanca, I see Muslims, but I don't see Islam. Huh? If we don't come here and do what we're doing, we lose. It's not promised to you. Allah said he will raise another people.
Yes, he did.
Detroit, Flint, Lansing, all across here. If we don't learn to come together with us and get around the campfire and fortify ourselves, because we're in a battle out here, man. This is real. This ain't playing. Do you deal with children that's impacted by the drugs that's in our community? I do. Do you know it not only destroys that generation, but it destroys our next generation? Imam Mohammed, and may Allah's peace be on him. I used the word yesterday. I was talking to the imams. I said, I enjoyed your presentation. I said, I'm still grieving Imam Waqti.
Me too.
You know, I'm missing him so much. I was here. You know, I came the first Sunday. Detroit, I was there. I was there.
You were there.
She's talking about I was there.
Yeah.
In fact, the Imam
You
came.
was also there at the college in Saginaw with Imam.
Yeah,
I have clippings of what you said.
yeah. When the Imam came to Detroit,
He was the imam then.
He was the Imam.
yeah, I was the Imam then. When the Imam came, I'll share something with you because Clyde was there also. He greeted him at the airport. He brought him to Delta College. And the Imam was impressed with the facility. We took him around and we was talking to him. And the focus back then, it was in the 70s or the 80s, it was in the 70s. And the focus was the Craig program, the Committee for the Removal of Images. I was the chairman of Craig. And we was marching And we were talking to the churches. We did it right. We'd go to the churches and we talk to them. I could bring you pictures and stuff and show you. And we were moving aggressively because I was present in 1977 when he gave the talk, Message of Concern. I was in Dallas. I was marching.
We rode together?
Yeah, here we go. We rode together and we went to Elijahville together, you and me. Yeah, the pecan trees, far as the eye can see. We was there. The brothers with the machete. Yo, Imam got courage. They'll never talk about that. Your father.
And I know about his courage, but machetes.
Yeah, when we got to the farm, and when we got to the farm down there in Terrell County, Georgia, is that it? No, that's where I can't remember. But we had land.
I remember it was like my whole family in that. Remember that limousine, Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
Yeah.
And my father was using that for his car.
Okay.
Yeah. And we all drove to Georgia, piled up on top of each other. I think I spent half the ride down to Elijahville on the floor of the car.
Well,
No, the AC didn't work in there.
Well, Imam called us there. He rode with us. We had a brother got a motor van. Brother Abdul Rahim Rashidah.
Yeah, he passed away.
Yeah, he passed away. We got in the motorhome. We went down there. When we got there, these brothers were standing with machetes. It was around the Jonestown thing was going. I think was happening. And we went. I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't comfortable. And they walking around there, doing like this. When the Imam got there and he went to talking, he said, "They're not with us." They disappeared. Yeah, I mean, they standing over us like that.
They thought he was going to intimidate us.
Yeah, you were there.
Yeah, I was there.
You were there.
Slept on the ground.
Yeah, so Imam Mohammed.
We had a trailer, but everybody slept on the ground. I remember
Yeah.
And it was dark, pitch black dark out there. Oh, yeah.
And there were some big snakes there too.
Yeah. And I also, that brings to mind Detroit. I mean, Chicago, when we marched about them taking our property.
I was there.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of time, y'all don't know this.
I was there.
There was some protest. We wasn't there. The Imam was by himself.
Them was some real high times.
Yeah.
Politically, we set an example that is unprecedented as far as political movements.
Where's
that
his
would rival-
microphone?
That we would rival
this is
the civil rights. Some of the civil rights video that we watched repeated over and over again on television to make it look like all Black America was part of civil rights. I heard it was a small part of African American people that joined Dr. King. But those of us that was with Imam Muhammad, we did some things and we had some real high spirit. I remember we went to every church, and got the support of the majority of African American churches on our side with the Craig movement, and we were putting stickers, Jesus and not Allah, on everything.
Yeah.
You saw them all over the south side of Chicago. And I can remember it like it's yesterday. I remember being hot and sunny in Chicago, and every believer had a smile on their face, and they was happy to tell people that Jesus was not Allah.
That's right.
And that we were there to remove the racial images from worship. And our spirit was so high that the Christians had to join us.
Yeah.
It's like you couldn't come against us. Nothing could come against us.
Yeah.
I remember that I was a little boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was during that period, and it was very heated in Saginaw. And with the controversy, we marching almost every weekend. We going down the street. We go to the church and we said we want you to join us in this and that, and we leave. If they didn't, then we say we coming back, and we would go back. So he came to this college, real beautiful college. He loved it. In fact, Delta College is a premier junior college.
Then one of his sisters or daughters.
He said somebody, but yeah, in Saginaw, it's Delta. And he was impressed with the facility, and you would if you go there. Me and him, we got a journeyman car. We millwrights. So we went to Delta.
Oh, wow.
And we worked for GM, me and Robert.
Millwright, welder, pipe fitter.
See, I got to give him some more. You see that? I got to give him some more.
So, even ma'am, what did you work for General Motors?
I worked at 33 and a half years.
Yeah, he's in Flint. Yeah, right. And so we went for skilled trade.
Y'all know Honorable Elijah Muhammad was a foreman, worked for General Motors.
No, we didn't know that.
Yeah, Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
I didn't know
I
that.
was on salary too.
Yeah, he went.
Praise be to Allah.
So Imam came, and he's going to speak at Delta. A nice crowd, and he came, and I never forget this. He sat down at the table, and the press was there. You know, cameras was going off, microphones was everywhere, and the people were quiet. They didn't say nothing. And Imam finally said, "Okay, well, I'm Imam Muhammad. I'm here visiting, and so and so, and I'm willing to take your questions." And all the questions was about the image of what's going on.
Brother, this is so important what you're talking about. They want to erase this from history. You know that, right?
Yeah.
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 I remember. As
And-
you're talking, I can see it.
Yeah, and they were questioning him. That most of the press were white people questioning him. The imam had got to a point where he answered their questions, and they looked like, oh, I'm in agreement with what you're saying, and they closed their books, and they put the microphones down, and they were pleasant. They were leaving there, and they were white people. They were thinking, well, I guess if you had a black one, I sure ain't going to be in front of him. And if I was in your position, I'd be fighting harder than your body. I wouldn't have my kids running around here with no Isaac Hayes on them. So they laid back. But one sister working for the press, very attractive sister. Oh, just study shooting questions at the imam. And then finally she got to the point where she was kind of agitating everybody. The news people getting mad.
Right.
What's going on? You know? And then she said, well, what are we going to do with the images when we take them down? Guess what your father said? He said, what did they do with the auction block they sold you on? Oh, hey.
Okay.
The books, everybody, where we going? Everybody start packing up the cameras. No more questions. Even her, when she had to back off and go. No, we forgot. We forgot. We don't remember. We come into Islam and we don't remember those people in the past, or Frederick Douglass the way that we should, or those people who were hung. And if you, huh?
I burned at the stake
Right.
in Alabama.
We don't forget. We don't
Burn
forget.
them at the stake.
Right. How can we forget? And the discredit that we haven't made progress. We made progress. Imam Muhammad said the white man has repented.
Yeah.
We're like fighters now. You know how a fighter fight for a long time. He retired. He's at home. Wife in the kitchen cooking. All of a sudden the telephone ring. He jumps up. The wife comes in. What's the go? Oh, she had to grab him. You fighting something ain't there. Huh? It's a free now, ain't it? You can go anywhere. Get a plane ticket. I've been on the plane for 18 hours. Leaving the country. Nobody at the airport. You can't go. Nobody say you can't put your money together. We got a thing, an example set here where the people pool their resources. And Brother Akbar said he just bought this with the money.
That's right.
Yeah. Nobody telling you can't do it. I told Robert on the way here, the brother was talking about the property, talking about the five states. I said, Robert, look at all this land for sale here. All you got to do is buy it. Yeah, right. You do what you want to do.
We got a thing on the lifeline. Well, my wife is over it, where we're giving $1,000 to each distributor to open up a business, and they only have to put about 3 months or 4 months or $50 into it, and they walk away with $1,000 to help their business. And that has never been done, in as far as I know, in the history.
But what I want to emphasize to you is the fraternity, the brotherhood. Imam Muhammad, I heard him in the lecture mention that. And that's what the Nation of Islam did to you. The eating of the apple, sitting around the pot stove. That ain't in you. When I came into Islam in 1975, that's when I came in. Robert was there. He's still here. We don't say much about him. But this brother, I don't remember him ever being off the job. Never. I don't remember him. No, here we go. I got witnesses here.
Yeah, I don't ever remember him being.
No, I don't remember him a break or not. And I studied with him. I wasn't Muslim. He was a Muslim at work, working there. I saw him. He reading books and stuff. I wonder, what is that brother doing? And then it was coming by I was staying in the projects. He was coming by the projects selling fish.
Yes, sir.
And they were talking about building, in Saginaw, they were talking about building a hospital. And they were getting a plane for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We were going to the bakery. We had our own fish market. This little bitty Saginaw. We used to go to Detroit, though. Where the brothers from Detroit? And they closed the door on us. We go into Detroit, they collect the money, and then they close the door. Lock that door. You ain't leaving here. We need more. What's them brothers' name? I forget the name. Used to wear the long leather coats.
That was
Captain somebody.
that was Roscoe.
Yeah, Captain Roscoe. You too young to remember him. You should have met them guys out of Detroit.
I've heard from
Oh.
from Detroit.
Nah.
Osman and others.
Oh, they were told. Oh yeah, Osman gonna tell you. They were something else. Your Imam got courage.
He's notorious.
Yeah, Imam Wardi Muhammad faced off something. We can't measure it up against the Nation of Islam. Them brothers was taking heads.
Yeah. I heard him in a lecture mention. He said that y'all think. I don't know if he used the word afraid. I'm worried about y'all. These brothers out here. He said that when he came into office, it was really dangerous.
Yes.
Dangerous.
Yes.
You know, and the way he said it, I said, yeah, I know they must have been some cold-hearted people.
They were.
I know. I'm in Detroit. Hey, brother, I'm in Detroit. Captain Roscoe and the group over there. Lincolns, leather coats and rings and stuff. They shut that door, and man, when we left there, we had no money in our pocket. Yeah, like they picked you up and stripped you out. Yeah, your father, man, your father. I was relieved. I found a relief.
I was too.
He said, "Keep y'all money home." Yes, sir.
Big Red was he just passed recently. He was in Atlanta, and they had a captain down there that the brothers had to turn the pocket wrong side out. I just say you had to turn the wrong side out. You know, you ain't got no money, turn your pocket wrong side. The bottom's in the pocket.
And you know, I came in '75, and I'm running with one of the dynamic brothers there, Schaefer, Robert. Brother Schaefer was getting it. 300 newspapers a day, and he was in the community. He was he walked in the bar.
Oh, yeah.
He was in the university. He was everywhere. He snatched. Everybody knew him. He didn't care. I chose him. I said, that's what I'm going to run with. And I ran with him. Right? I ran with Schaefer. And he would go pick up the dead. He wouldn't take no for an answer. I remember we had one lieutenant say, I'm bringing the dead there, so sometime I'll get in the car, and the sisters would sit in the car in the front. I get there, and the lieutenant say, hey, brother, you don't, you can't bring the dead sisters like that. You got
to know who the dead is.
Yeah, you got to put him in the back seat. You can't ride. Now I looked at him, I said, okay, Lieutenant. I go pick him up. I said, no, sis, you got to sit in the back. Well, I ain't going. I said, get in the back. and the sister said, no, I'm not going. I said, okay, get in front. Sit down. From there to there, ain't nothing gonna happen. I said, I'm taking, but you gotta go here there. And I get there, and the lieutenant be there. That I brought her in the front seat. But I knew, I said, look, he didn't bring nobody. This is what I'm just thinking. I wasn't that smart. But I'm thinking this is, I went home, man, when we went in 1975, I went home, my brother's here, and I pleaded with my mama to come go with me. To come to Chicago. I pleaded with her. She had beans in the basement. Big old, 100-pound bag of beans. I wanted my mama to go. I didn't know what to expect when I got to Chicago. But when your father stood up, I stayed with him. I'm not that good. I may be a C student. But I stayed with him the whole time. I continued to study. And when he said that winds will come against him, won't shake this, I said, oh boy, I felt good. Man, I went back home. I was relieved. And I continued to work. I want to share that with you. That's our history. And it's important that we understand the importance of coming together. Yes. That's what Imam said, make connection. But we want to make connection with the knowledge and the information and don't make the connection with us.
Right.
That's just like a man who got a family and he out here loving everybody and go home and his kids are desolate. Yes. Don't know him. Yes. His wife not being treated right. Yes. The first thing that you should do is say with Islam is, how can I better improve my family? Where my relationship with my wife and my children. That's why this brother, he sit and share with stuff going on at his home. I asked him, because I want to know, how do I apply this at home? I got problems with my kids. I'm trying to do something. I got my last daughter that's graduating. Jihan.
Stuff don't go my way all the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know. Because I asked him yesterday, I said, what did your dad do? And he got angry because I'm mad at my daughter.